back to the Daily Grind. Thanks for checking out the channel. Make sure to hit subscribe if you're new and hit thumbs up if you're not a baby back bagel biting bitch boy, cause you know what time it is. It's full time.
MMA.
Vitor Belfort versus Uriah Hall is official for UFC Fight Night 124 in St. Louis. This event's going to take place January 14th, which I believe is 1 week before UFC 220, which is in Boston, which is supposed to be a big card. So this card is also going to help kick off 2018. And this fight was leaked, I don't know, maybe a couple weeks ago, but it feels like a couple fucking months ago with all of the fucking craziness that's been going on in the MMA world. But Vitor Belfort leaked this fight a couple of weeks ago or a few weeks ago on his social media, I believe Instagram, and he was thanking Uriah Hall, you know, and looking forward to the fight. Now, we didn't know when the fight would be. Now we do. But I do say, I believe I said this in the last video. I don't know why, but why I wouldn't have, because this is how I feel. But I think this is a great fight for both of these guys at this point in their career. I think this is like really good matchmaking here. Vitor Belfort, he's coming off of a win, but it was I believe, controversial win, right? It was the decision over Nate Marquardt. If I remember correctly, when I was watching that fight, I had it scored for Nate Marquardt, but I'm not a fucking judge. And I believe the fight was in Brazil. Vitor Belfort got his hand raised, which was much needed because Vitor Belfort, I believe before that, was on like a, 3 or 4 fight losing streak. And they were, I believe, all knockouts. Prior to that win, Belfort had been knocked out in 3 consecutive fights, although the third to Kelvin Gastelum was overturned to a no contest when Gastelum tested positive for marijuana. So, yeah, so Vitor Belfort was coming off of 3 knockouts when he got that win over Nate Marquardt, which could have been a loss. So, I mean, I do like this fight for Uriah Hall because, I mean, Uriah Hall, he just got a nice win, but it was a come from behind win. It was a knockout win over Krzysztof Jotko, but in the first round, Krzysztof Jotko, I believe, was getting the better of Uriah Hall. Uriah Hall had a big comeback knockout, which he needed because he was skidding as well. So both of these guys are coming off of much needed wins, and before that they were, you know, they were skidding. So I think this is great matchmaking. It's going to be a great fight. I don't know who's going to win off the top of my head. Once I do the predictions and shit, you know, that we got a lot of time. We still got to make it to this fight. You know, anything could happen. This fight's scheduled for about 2 months from now. So as we get closer to it, man, I'm sure the rest of the card will be announced. I don't think this is going to be the main event, but this is going to be a great fight. So with that being said, I got more news to get to. It is what it is. Let the full-time family know what you think about Uriah Hall versus Vitor Belfort in the comments. I'm out. Actually, I'm not out. There was one other thing I wanted to mention in this video. Also announced on this same card is Jessica Eye versus Kalindra Faria. Now, why this is interesting is because Jessica Eye was originally scheduled to face Paige VanZant at UFC 216. Paige VanZant had to pull out due to a back injury. Well, since then, Paige VanZant has tweeted that she'll be fighting the winner of this inaugural Women's Flyweight Championship at the Ultimate Fighter finale. So the Ultimate Fighter right now, season 26, is going to determine the inaugural Women's Flyweight Champion. Paige VanZant is looking like she's going to be fighting the winner of that title fight, so she's going to be getting a title shot. Jessica Eye, originally, she was, you know, she said something about that on Twitter when she heard the news, like, what's going on? You know, I was scheduled to fight Paige VanZant. She had to pull out due to injury, and now she's getting a title shot. Well, it's looking like now Jessica Eye has another match, which it just gives credence, you know, because some people came at me like, bro, Dana White already said Paige VanZant's not getting the title shot. Well, motherfucker, this means something. With that being said, it is what it is. Let the full-time family know the fuck you. Type in the comments. I'm out.
Da 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 da. It's the motherfucking DOWG.